Hi there, my name's Matt Hinds. I'm a director with Poppy Taylor and Hinds Architects in Hobart in Tasmania. Thanks to the Robin Boyd Foundation for inviting us to speak as part of this Open Day speaker series. I wanted to present two projects, but the first is a project in the centre of the island called Bozen's Cottage. And I'll be reading notes that were presented to the jury. Bozen's Cottage won the Roy Sharrington Smith Award for Heritage Architecture at this year's Chapter Awards. So, Bozen's Cottage. Established in 1821, Oatlands presents one of the most intact Georgian streetscapes in the country. But like many Tasmanian heritage townscapes, it also harbours an unsettling mystery. This characteristic is known as the Tasmanian uncanny and speaks to the unresolved histories of exile of both the colonial and Aboriginal peoples of this island. Its enigmatic quality broods to this day in the work of Tasmania's contemporary artists and writers. It is in this context that we approach the restoration of an archetypal four-pile Vandemonian Georgian cottage. Built in 1842, the cottage was salvaged from impending ruin by our clients in late 2017. Georgian mannerisms were brought to the colonies by pattern books. The characteristics of the Vandemonian Georgian are peculiar, subtle and delicate, but also suffused with qualities of economy, purposefulness, and austerity. This small cottage has witnessed a long and fascinating social history. The generations of family who occupied this house for nearly 2 centuries were blacksmiths, carpenters, and pastoralists. Although in a state of impending ruin, the fabric of the cottage retains much of its original character. On land granted by Sir John Franklin to Jane Payne in 1842, the cottage was serviced by several outbuildings, accommodating stores, bathing and additional sleeping areas, configured about the original Georgian sandstone core of the house. An initial program of restorative works sought to re-enliven the cottage's Georgian fabric and incorporate contemporary amenity. Decades prior, the northeasterly elevation had collapsed and been patched with asbestos panelling. A series of lean-tos at the rear were no longer salvageable, and the interiors were decaying from lack of light and rising damp. In plan, the cottage was composed of an archetypal four-pile layout with a kitchen annex, which was removed to return the cottage to a more rarefied state of 4 sandstone elevations. As part of the new works, the footings were underpinned and the collapsing eastern facade was repaired. The asbestos was replaced with 2 large format windows which formed seats in the depth of the wall. A small bathroom was secreted into the rearmost room adjacent to the kitchen, and a boot porch at the rear and a retained chimney breast demarcate a courtyard. The internal cruciform walls of the house were originally lined in salvaged timbers and convict pit-sawn hardwood boards, presenting a primitive Georgian materiality. Referring to original pattern books, we conceived of a strategy of timber panelling to clarify the mannerisms of the new work. This approach directly references the tendencies of Georgian room making as a layer of wainscoting inserted to intensify the qualities of the primitive Georgian interiors. Externally, a new steel awning represents the only contemporary intervention to the front facade. To the east, the new paired windows bring in light and garden aspect. The entry hall shows original remnant wall fabrics and convict carpentry. And the vellum deed from Sir John Franklin to Jane Payne is hung in the entry. The memory of prior generations of blacksmiths and carpenters is recast into the new works through a series of finely crafted mild steel and timber insertions. These insertions provide a delicate scaffold to the rooms. Georgian mouldings have been detailed in unconventional relief to emphasise a quality of social cohesion with the original fabric of the house. The original room on the left now serves as the library. And on the other side of the chimney breast, a sitting room. Within the bedrooms, timber casement shutters offer a sense of operating the materiality and history of the room. Remnants of earlier wall coverings were used as a palette for the refinishing of the Baltic pine ceilings in each room. Mild steel cabinetry and open hardwood shelving service the kitchen. And to the rear, the new boot porch provides all-weather access. Externally, the remnant chimney breast clarifies a courtyard where site salvaged bricks serve as an infill to an archaeological field of sandstone foundations, stoops and hearths. We were fortunate to work with a devoted builder who understood the custodial foundation that was being laid by our exceptional clients. As an acknowledgement of the house's social history, our clients decided to name it in honour of Stuart Bozen Pennicott, its last generational occupant. For our part, we've sought to re-enliven its fabric through a series of interventions and repairs which intensify its meaning. I was also asked to speak to a project that I think resonates strongly in this year's awards, and I chose in this instance For Our Country by Audition Office and with Daniel Boyd. I think that as a project, I haven't seen it in person yet, but it does really speak to deep traditions and obviously some very careful propositional thinking about engagement with traditional Aboriginal ideas of country and dedication to country and lives lost. I think it's an extremely powerful work, and Audition Office need to be commended because it's a really important thing to have done. So thank you. I hope that that was good. And I present another project as well, Lower Jordan Hill Road next. Thank you.